Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another Steam 2 video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a weapon that I feel like it's been kind of flying under the radar. It's actually quite common, but I'm not really seeing too many people talking about it, even though it's actually great for both PvP and PvE. So today we're going to be putting the spotlight on the Ahab Char, this amazing new solar auto rifle. So we're going to be talking about what are some of the unique combinations that you can get with this weapon and nowhere else. We can talk about some of the best perks that you can get with this weapon. We'll talk about the best perks that you should be looking for if you're looking for a god to run this weapon. And at the end, we'll have a mini review where I just talk about the things that I like or dislike about the weapon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you do, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys aren't already. We're going to be putting tons of videos out on just Edge of Fate stuff. So you definitely don't want to miss those. And now let's get into it. And first we got to talk about where to actually get this weapon. Now this weapon seems to come from all over the place. When you're doing the campaign, it can drop. When doing portal activities, it can drop. When you're going around the world, it can actually drop as well the engram weapons. So you actually may have gotten a couple of these already. But it seems like doing any sort of activity, but specifically the portal activities, can get you this weapon. Now this weapon comes with a Bray Legacy Origin trait, meaning that whenever you damage something with this weapon, it generates a small amount of energy to the ability closest to full charge. So if your melee is the closest, it will give you melee energy, but if your grenade is the closest, it will give you grenade energy. Overall, it just makes it so you can use your abilities a lot more often, and with the energy you get for you doing a bit of damage, it's not a lot, it does kind of stack up, and it does help you get those abilities out faster. So it's a pretty decent origin trait, nothing crazy, but definitely pretty decent. But now let's actually move on and let's take a look at the important parts of any weapon. Let's take a look at those trait perks. We're gonna go over the trait perks first. We'll talk about some of the best ones for both PvP and PvE, and then afterwards we'll have some God suggestions. So if that's what you guys are looking for, that'll be after the perks. So let's get into it, and let's start with the very first trait perk. Now these are the options we're gonna have for the first trait perk. We have Transcendent Moment, Subsistence, Heal Clip, Recycle Energy, Perpetual Motion, Proximity Power, and lastly Grave Robber. And we have a couple of nice perks right here, but the main two that you really want to go for are going to be Subsistence or Heal Clip. Now Subsistence is going to make it so whenever you defeat a target, it partially reloads the magazine from reserves. So it just makes it less likely that you have to reload, meaning that you can just keep firing this weapon for much longer. That's really what Subsistence is all about, just so you don't really have to reload as often. Now the other perk, and the one that I think most people are going to go for, is Heal Clip. And this is kind of like the opposite of Subsistence. You actually want to reload more with Heal Clip, since every time you reload after getting a kill, you're going to be getting healed. Heal Clip is just such a strong perk because of all the survivability it gives you. Having more healing on any activity is never really a bad thing, and considering that most solar weapons can actually roll Heal Clip, it usually ends up being towards the top spot. And when it comes to this weapon, I definitely feel like this one's the top spot, and the one that most people are going to run. So for PvE, you can definitely run Subsistence or Heal Clip, both of those are going to be fantastic. And for the Crucible, Heal Clip is also good, because now people just don't heal as fast anymore with the new system. Or you can also go with Perpetual Motion, which is going to improve your stability, handling, and reload speed whenever you are in motion. This is a really good perk for the Crucible, and it's just going to make your auto rifle feel even better. This weapon itself, already I would say is pretty stable, but giving it a little bit more stability and just having an easier time landing those headshots, it is gonna make the time to kill in this weapon a lot more consistent and just a lot better. Now these are the perks that we're gonna have for the second trait perk. We have Adagio, Binary Orbit, Kill Clip, High Impact Reserves, Eye of the Storm, Swashbuckler, and lastly Burning Ambition. Now I have talked about Burning Ambition in some of the other videos when looking at some of the other weapons, and on some of them, Burning Ambition wasn't really the go-to perk. I think on this one, it is actually going to be the go-to perk, and the one that most people are actually going to go for. Burning Ambition plus Heal Clip, I think is going to be a pretty good roll, especially if you're planning on using this weapon on a solar build, and even if you don't have a way of initially triggering that Scourge, just by shooting an enemy over and over again with your auto rifle, you'll be able to trigger it, and then lead to the ignition. I feel like on these weapons, like the high RPM auto rifles, the SMGs, that's really where Burning Ambition is going to be pretty nice, or whenever you have it paired up with a solar build. That's really how you get the most out of this perk. It's used by itself, like Incandescent, but I feel like it has even more synergy with builds that are already ignite and scorch targets, it can just lead to ignitions after you scorch something just very easily. But if you don't want to go with Burning Ambition, then the other perk that I would recommend is one of the new ones actually, Binary Orbit. Whenever you get Elemental Final Blows opposite to this weapon, it increases the damage for a short duration. And that damage increase is no joke, it's a 25% increased damage for 9 seconds. Used by getting a kill with an element that doesn't really match this one. And since this weapon is a solar damage weapon, you have to get a kill with a darkness aligned element like Strand or Stasis. So if you're going to be playing with Binary Orbit, just make sure that you're either in one of those darkness subclasses, you have some abilities that or you have at least a weapon that's darkness aligned, like your special weapon. Binary Orbit I definitely think is going to be a very strong perk in PvE, and you definitely start seeing it a lot more often, especially on prismatic builds. This is like basically built for prismatic. Now for the Crucible, it's really Kill Clip what you're looking for. Kill Clip is going to be the best thing that you can get, so you can decrease that optimal decay after getting a kill. You also have Ion the Storm on this weapon, which is going to increase your accuracy and handling as you get lower in health, but I still think that Kill Clip is probably going to be the go-to for this weapon, and the main reason that most people use it in the Crucible. In the Crucible, it actually feels really nice. The 720s in Crucible are kind of strong right now, so definitely give this a try if you get a good one. I think you'll definitely like it in the Crucible. And now let's move on and let's talk about some god rolls with this weapon. The very first one that you can go for is Heal Clip plus Burning Ambition. This is probably going to be the most popular role and the one that most people go for. You also have Heal Clip plus Skill Clip. This is going to be pretty good for Crucible, since you get the heal, you get the extra damage, and it use like super powers you up as well as your weapon, basically ready for the next fight. Subsistence plus Binary Orbit I think is also going to be pretty nice. You get a kill with your special weapon that's darkness aligned, and then your primary is like super buffed up with a 25% damage increase, and every time that you kill some ads, you put some more bullets into the magazine so you can really make the most out of that buff. I think this one's going to be a very decent roll, and if you're looking for a damage buff, this is definitely the one that you want to go for. And those are going to be like the main ones that I'm going to talk about, and the main ones that I think that you guys should be going for. If you guys have any other roles that you guys are going for, make sure you guys leave them in the comments below. Or you just want to tell me some of the roles that you got in, or what do you think about the weapon, also leave them down in the comments below. Now, what do I think about this weapon? And I actually really enjoyed my time playing with this weapon. Like I said, I've been playing with it a lot since like the campaign, when I got it pretty early on. And it's just a good feeling art rifle. Now, I did get Burning Ambition one pretty early on, so I have been messing around with that and a couple of other solar builds to try to make a bunch of ignitions. And it is very fun being able to use trigger ignitions with your weapon. It actually kind of reminds me of Jolting Feedback, just being able to trigger a whole thing just with your weapon by shooting at an enemy. But I do feel like Burning Ambition is a little weaker compared to Jolting Feedback, because it seems like it procs so much faster with Jolting Feedback. While with Burning Ambition, first you gotta trigger the Scorch, and then you gotta build up those Scorch stacks to get the big ignition. With Jolting Feedback, you just gotta jolt one time, and then you immediately start profiting by getting those lightning strikes, getting all that ad clear that you get. But with this one, it's definitely a lot slower. So to get the most out of this weapon, I would definitely recommend that you play with this when you already are on a solar build, and you're using this weapon as a way of just triggering those ignitions after something's already scorched. This weapon is so much better, and you're going to be seeing so many ignitions in your screen. So it does have some pretty good potential, but you definitely have to build into it. But besides that, I really think it's a really good weapon. Like I said, for the Crucible, it actually felt very nice, and I think that the rapid fire art rifles are in a pretty good spot right now. But with that, we're going to end today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care everyone, have a good rest of your day. Peace.